Hello, welcome to another video. This video is about why being in the wrong relationship could cost you your life. Dun dun dun. Quite seriously, it could. Well, it could cost you your happiness, which basically is your life and how you live and whether you're living. Because if you're in the wrong relationship, you're not living. Okay, so society prefers us when we're in relationships. I swear to God it does. Because, you're going on a trip away, you want to go to Edinburgh, you go on your own. So much nicer to go with somebody else, a friend or, your significant other. And, Valentine's Day comes and every business wants to profit on people in relationships. And, they are profiting on single people now as well. But I swear life just prefers you when you're in a relationship. It's just more validating. Because then when your family asks you what you're doing, you're like, oh, he's my boyfriend, a girlfriend, or significant other. And you're like, aren't they amazing? Like, oh, good for you. But, when you're with the wrong person, life just changes. It's just not the same. You're not living, you're not happy. Anyway, so don't be quick to jump into relationships because they're more validating, because society is more socially accepting. I remember when I got my first ever boyfriend in high school and everyone was like, oh. And then, actually, let me tell you a story. I was invited to this group of people who were all in relationships. And it was like this little clan, cult. The relationship cult of people who were like, oh, come here. Oh, is it really? Oh, come join us. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, yeah, Kate's with such and such. And actually, at the time, how old was I? 15? 16? And they thought I'd had sex. They thought I'd done the deed. And I hadn't done the deed. Actually, I think this is why I was part of their clan. Because they thought I'd had sex. Because I was in a relationship, they assumed. I had not. I was a good girl. I'm a bit too young, really. And I think maybe I was 13. I can't remember. Yeah. 8 or 9, maybe? Anyway. And they assumed I'd had sex, and they were talking about all these different things, and I was like, mm. And then they're like, you've had sex? And I was like, And just nodded for a while. And then, I can't remember, but I think I told them I hadn't had sex, or someone let it slip. And all of a sudden they're like, what? You've not? Oh, you can't be part of our club anymore. I was like, what? I'm like, no. Oh, no, you wouldn't get it. You don't understand. Oh, no, you don't get it. And I kind of get it. But they could have taught me at the same time, because I have a friend now who's less experienced than me, and yeah, we probably do leave her out of conversation, but we do also try and educate her at the same time. And it was just so awful to all of a sudden be ostracised from this little group that you can't join us anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was really random. So that is an actual fact that being in a relationship, well, not necessarily being in a relationship, actually makes you more accepted. Because, yeah, it was like, oh, such and such is going out with such and such. Whereas if you were single, it was like, well, there's nothing to talk about. So you would genuinely more accepted by high school and society and things. It was crazy. So yeah, don't do that. It's better to be single. It's actually why being single and breaking up is so liberating, because when you're in the wrong relationship, your decisions are marred by your partner and doing stuff that they want to do. And when you're in the right relationship, or when you leave that wrong relationship, it's like, whoa, I can finally be me again. I can do all the things I actually want to do. Because being in the wrong relationship, the wrong person, focuses their energy on something that doesn't benefit you. So they can be the wrong person. They want to do different things to you. and therefore you're not benefiting from being with them because they're making different decisions that don't align with your values, if that makes sense. So if you are with the wrong person, then it'll have you questioning your worth. It'll have you potentially changing your beliefs to fit their beliefs, to fit into their ideal. So hear me out, because I know people are like, no, I'm my own person, I would never change for anybody else, blah blah blah. Would you though? Like, they say, oh, I don't like armpit hair, and you're like, oh, I didn't even notice I had not shaved today, and they're like, oh no, and then you're like, well, you know what, like, it's alright, and then you subconsciously think, oh, I'll make sure I shave my armpits today because I don't like armpit hair, and just all these different things, like, oh, you smell nice, I really like that perfume you're wearing, and then you think, oh, I'm going to wear it more. I know that's like a good way, but subconsciously sometimes things can negatively affect us because we completely change who we are to fit into this other person's life because of what they believe, or what they think, or what they like. Like, if they don't like the colour green, like, oh, that green doesn't look good on you, and then you think, oh, I don't want to wear that cardigan again because they don't like green. That clashes with a lot of colours that they wear. We subconsciously mould ourselves to fit, and you know, it should be two people coming together to live in harmony. But sometimes I swear we mould ourselves around other people to best fit into their lives. So, you know, people might say, oh, you know, you could gain a bit of weight, or you could lose a bit of weight, or you're getting on a bit of the chubby side, or, oh, let's fatten you up. Or, you know, oh, you wear a lot of jeans all the time, why don't you try and wear a dress? Or, you know, oh, well, I like it when you tie your hair back, it looks good. But equally, if you're in a relationship and they think you're perfect, and you get comfortable and you do nothing, I mean, is that good? Probably. I don't know, I've never thought about that. You know, like, they might decide what movies you watch. You might not want to watch those movies. Just have a think to yourself, have you ever changed yourself? Because I swear I have. So if they don't align with your values, this is why values and boundaries are so important, because if they're a person that doesn't align with your values, like if you want kids and they don't, or if you really care about the environment and they don't, sometimes it's not a deal breaker, but sometimes it is. And if it is, and then you change yourself to meet their values, then you just lose who you are as a person. And I know this sounds so serious, but you genuinely do, and you lose your life. You stop living. You lose yourself. That's why people say that they lose themselves, because you do. Like, you can be so happy that you've got someone in your life because it's so validating by society, and you can lose yourself in that person because you're so happy to be with somebody else. I have changed my music taste for somebody. When I was younger, they were into heavy death metal or whatever, and I decided, I was like, yeah, I like that too. And they're like, oh, cool, what bands? I was like, and then the next day I downloaded all these songs just to make them like me, to have something to talk about because I liked them, and I well and truly got my heart broken. They said they were going to skate all the way from Leeds to Bolton for me, and yeah, that didn't happen. Oh my gosh, that was such an embarrassing relationship. I think I'd forgot that I'd had it wasn't a relationship, a holiday fling. I think I'd forgotten that I'd ever actually had something like that wasn't where I was the most in control. Oh dear, I remember that now. Oh dear me. But you know, like, if one of you prefers living in the country versus the city, or one of you's more frugal versus being more frivolous, it will create friction. And obviously it's not good to be completely the same or completely the opposite, but you've got to have similar values. Otherwise, one of you will be coming back with Louis Vuitton bags and Chanel and Versace, and the other one will have been saving all day and looking through the finances, and it'll just be like World War III. What else have I got to say? So yes, don't amend yourself to please other people. Don't amend yourself to please other people, and only do things to please you. Because like I said, otherwise you will lose yourself. So have shared values and shared enjoyment, because, you know, life's too short, and being with the wrong person genuinely could, like, lose your entire life, because the only thing you've ever known is changing yourself for somebody else. So I remember someone said to me, "Oh, I like you with long hair," so I cut it all off. So yeah, be yourself and have someone accept you for 1,000% who you are. Don't try and change. Do things that make you happy, and don't completely try and mould yourself around somebody else, because you'll just lose the things that made you you, and life's too short to do that, so don't do that. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm making a few for 2023 to give us some positive vibes. So if you like this video, please do like, comment, let me know the types of things that you maybe have done or you're trying to avoid within relationships. If you have liked, subscribe. Also have a look at my TikTok, where I create a lot of videos on relationships. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon.